Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Farrell. Welcome to my YouTube channel, where tonight we'll be really finishing up all the loose ends that could be considered 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. It was season 7. This is the tell all part 4. It was called No Limits, and it certainly didn't have any limits when it came to decency, respect for our time. But, here we are. I am excited to be talking to you guys and have a little, you know, one-on-one time. Just us. Just us people in the room. Hey, Ramserdam. Nice to see you. Juan and I were just talking about you. Okay, you're beautiful. Florals. Violets. Hey, Gab. Thank God I am trapped on a work trip with an ancient TV in my room, and all my coworkers are down the hall getting high and want to watch news. Oh, I'm dying of boredom. You're saving me. LOL. AK, hi, babe. Oh, he's a doggy sweetie tonight. Yay. Thanks. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, we'll be obviously talking about 90 Day Fiance, and Juan and I have already discussed this episode on the podcast that we also do, which is called Docu Sweeties. But this is the time when we get to just kind of break things down and be a little loosey goosey. Plus, Walt might come in later or not. She is living her life. But also, it's Monday night. Did anyone watch the premiere of new Darcy and Stacy? Is anyone watching Darcy and Stacy? I'll tell you what I was watching. And then I was talking to Juan, and then Juan was like, go live. And I was like, oh, okay, great. Because I know I have to do this and I want to talk to you guys. But I was knee deep, which is like 25 minutes into the first episode of MILF Manor. Now, there's a spoiler, so I'm not gonna say anything. And I don't want anyone to spoil it for people. Like, but it is, I don't know. But is anyone watching it? So those are the two questions. Are you watching Darcy and Stacy? Have you been watching MILF Manor? And then we'll be obviously talking about 90 Day HEA. And of course, at the end of the month, 90 Day the Other Way premieres Toe, as we like to call it. And we'll have a bunch of new faces. Yay! Hi, Joslo. I'm so excited. Oh, you said listen to 3 Docu Sweetie shows tonight. Which ones do you listen to? Hey, I bet it was Love After Lockup, 90 Day, maybe like another 90 Day. I don't know. Oh my gosh, be watching Darcy and Stacy. Didn't realize it was on today. Yes, baby booze. 8-7 Central time. So it's happening right now for us. On the West Coast. And the funny thing about that is that, my dad loved that show. My dad he watched it. He talks a lot of it, shit about it, but he watched every episode, and more than I have. More episodes than I have. So my dad, God bless him, I love him so much. So my dad's older brother passed away on Friday. So, it's just been a lot. Just not as much as, it is for that man's sons and stuff. My heart goes out to my, his immediate family, my uncle. Sorry, I'm texting Monique. I'm texting Moi. And so, but I loved him. My uncle Joe's my dad's oldest brother. He was quite a character, and he owned a bar on North Padre Island near Corpus. I get them confused. So South Padre Island, I think, is the party one. There's a North Padre Island called Farrah's Watering Hole, and it's just a dive bar. And he just lived a whole ass life there, and I loved he when I was 15, he gave Monique and I Maduri sours. Have you ever had a Maduri sour? Disgusting. Okay, so but when you're young, you're like, oh, it's like a green kind of yummy drink. I really leaned into a lot of Maduri sours, and then amaretto sours was kind of a drink I used to have when I was 20 and wasn't 21 yet. My hair looks crazy. Okay, I'm gonna bring a special guest to the docket. Now, here's the thing. You might be like, how can these girls talk about the same thing and have it be different? And I'll tell you, it's because we're professionals. What?
Um, I'm about to put a mask on. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
But hello for those of you guys who don't know me. I'm Chris's friend. My name is Yara. You wouldn't know because she doesn't have me as like a partner in StreamYard, so I can't just like join any of her lives at any time. She has to send me a link. Whereas like she literally could join StreamYard and at any moment just come on and join one of my lives willy-nilly, as you've seen her do in the past when she's confused as to what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, doing skincare
Did
and
you put the right part on? It looks like you put the part on you're supposed to throw away.
yeah, no, I the part and peeling it off.
Okay, okay.
It's one of these old ones. It's one of these drugstore brand ones.
Uh-huh.
They don't think we're smart, you know.
Yeah. Is this what's this supposed to be doing? Is it
I'm trying to
cucumber and
take
moist?
it's energize. Trying to
Okay.
take off. There it goes.
Energizing.
Woo!
Okay. I will start. I will put the link when this actually starts. I know we're having a little fun, but I do want to ask you, even though I've already asked everyone else. Wow, did you watch Darcy and Stacey?
I haven't. It started today.
Yeah, no, no, no. I know. Oh, it's starting. Yeah, you're right. I don't know if you
I
watched it.
watched season 1 though.
Well, this is season 3, babe. We're in
Yeah,
season
so I
3.
missed last season. I started to watch last season, but then I lost interest
Oh, okay.
because I didn't like Georgie, and I was like, I can't watch this happen. And then
True.
like, what's his face looks like a drug addict, and I just wasn't into it.
Yeah, I do get that. Look at AK. Listen to the Megan and Harry episodes 1, 2, 3, and the recap on DocuSweeties all in one night.
Woo!
Ramsterdam was listening to DocuSweeties earlier. I told Ramsterdam that we were talking. We were
About
in
her.
ears were ringing back and forth.
Yeah,
Um,
like we were like, if we were to go to Europe, we think Ramsterdam would come and see us. That was the thought.
I really want to get my ass to Edinburgh. So please like this video if you haven't. We're going to go ahead and dive into this episode of 90 Day Fiancé. As we said, the last of the fucking tell all. We can't wait to have this shit over. We're done. So
What's wrong with your background? Do you not have like a something
yeah,
that's not
you're right.
black?
You're right. Am I doing
Come
some?
on, you're professional. What's happening here?
Oh, I don't. I have.
You
Wait.
don't? There we
Mm,
go. Whew. Okay. Something like that.
wait,
I
what's
mean,
that?
at least it has your name on it. Good old Gabby. This looks like Gabby's work. Did Gabby
It is Gabby's work, but like it was her following. Oh God, I didn't realize this. Gabby, I didn't have something for this. Oh, give me. Wait, what is my? This is my background that I'm doing this. What is that picture? I don't know, my love. I'm like, fuck.
No, keep it that this. This is fine.
Okay. Oh, I see. Wait, I have a better one. No, there. Thank you, Gabby.
Okay.
Okay, so you're right. So here we are. Now we have picked up my loves, and Michael, having been somewhat taunted by Angela in a way which is don't have social media. Also, don't be at the same hotel as Usman. Also, don't look at Usman. Don't hang out with Usman when like they're very much in the same hotel, and that's not Michael's fault because like they're filming a tell-all, or
But
they
it is,
should be.
Michael. You chose this, Michael.
I know. And like they show us like the huge tower of the Lagos hotel they're at, and I'm like, I mean, oh, your bio oil. Yeah, I mean, I feel so bad for like the Lagos Travel Inn. Do you think it still exists?
Yes, I think it's in full effect, and I think that people still go there. But when you have stepped up your game in Nigeria, you go to the promenade. What's it called?
No.
Starts with a P.
Um, he walks into like Usman's wherever makeshift studio and he like tells him to fuck off, and then they're like arguing back and forth. And what is like the weirdest part about the storyline, which is I mean convoluted and I think fake, is that Usman is like, oh, I had your back until I realized it's you're the one that's at fault in this Angela and her relationship. Like you're the one that like can't control yourself on social media. You're like a little childish baby who like wants to put his peenie in all of the thingies and boobies. And like which of course is like the narrative of the entire cast to Michael, which is crazy because I feel like it has to be a concerted effort to not even, like, acknowledge how crazy and banana she was to come there and, like, scream in the middle of the night and, like, ruin his car. Like, I don't even understand why, like, no one really talks about that, like, well, 1 for 1 at least, but I mean, like, they really put him to the cross and crucify him, and Usman is like it's such a funny thing because Michael has over and over showed us that he has absolutely no spine and will never stand up for himself. To watch Michael go up to Usman and be like, "Oh, you have to respect my wife, like you respect me." I'm like, I don't think he respects you, buddy. I don't think most people do. Your wife doesn't even respect you, so like, why you don't respect yourself? Well,
Yep. I mean, I honestly think that it I'm tired of seeing Michael be played for the fool. And he is okay being that character archetype. And also, Usman does not have any moral ground to stand on. And I just hate the fact that we've allowed him in any light to shun Michael for cheating when Usman doesn't even like Kim. He is fully scamming her based on, I guess, whatever his idea that he must love her because he had sex with her, which is like, no, you have sex with people because you had sex with her because she wanted you to. You didn't want to have sex with her.
to me, it's so interesting. I'm not gonna sit here and be like it feels like Usman loves Kimberly like sexually and romantically. I don't even know if he does anyone sexually romantically. I don't get what that is, and for him, and I don't even know what the answer is. But I will say that I personally, and this is like devil's advocate, like don't see this season what he did wrong. I've seen what he's done wrong the first season with Kimberly. I can like talk about the fact that he did like bananas, the banana stuff like that happened with baby girl. But the thing about is this season he tried. He was like, "Look, I need to have a child. If I want to be with you. Are you open with that?" And she's like, "Yeah, second wife, second wife, second wife, whatever." She kept saying yes. He's like, "Okay." That ends up blowing up in his face for whatever reason. And he's like, "God, it doesn't even how can I work around the thing that I need and still be with you? Oh, I will just adopt this adorable child. I mean, this baby angel. What a angel, that's a word." And like, she says no. Now, listen, would she have to take care of the kid? Yes. Should she say, yes? No, I don't know, not necessarily. But what I'm saying is, I don't see a man that's scamming her this season. I really saw someone like kind of trying to make it work. Now, whether he's trying to make it work to get to America to continue to scam her, I don't see him scamming her more than Michael has. Like the thing about Usman is I don't even think that Usman would have his integrity or dignity slashed to get to America, where Michael obviously will.
Huh, what an interesting take. I mean, I see what you're saying. I just don't agree. I just think that the potential conversation is this his third season? This is their second season.
Yeah, so his third.
Okay. Okay, I see what you're saying. So you're saying like if we just isolate this season and not kind of bring in all the other stuff that we know, like his pattern and propensity for white women who probably say the N-word or have said the N-word, and his telling her that he doesn't want to have sex with her. The whole sex bargaining conversation didn't happen this season. It happened last season. So you're saying in this season, you just see him trying to make it work. I think it's right, except for, I guess I just think that the fact that he's like, but I'm not the one who can't have kids. She can't. And I'm like, but you also got with someone that you knew couldn't have kids and then held that against them. That's weird.
He didn't. I mean, did he hold it against her? He was just like, "Look, I gotta have this thing too. This and this. I want you and this thing."
Okay.
And I think that I don't know his sexuality. But I know, like, okay, so I put up this comment that said he loved Lisa more. Like, I mean, I just feel like I don't, yes, he was obviously not into Kimberly. Like, like definitely season one, like, like that's not a way a man treats a woman that he's like romantically interested in. Like
Mhm.
and it was so awkward that the fact that he like felt like he was the one on a pedestal and that she had to like grovel for it. I
Mhm.
mean, I would never like but I feel like it's a weird way to look at relationships if you consider yourself like traditional and or cisgender or heterosexual. It was such a in the super fan, but it was like because he was an artist and she's a fan. And I don't know. I guess, yeah, the first season of Kimberly and him really makes him out to be a scammer, I guess. And the fact that he would come on the show after having already been on a whole season also doesn't speak probably like better for his like not being a scammer. Are we your mothers? Hi, baby. Gnome in the cottage. Usman's not okay, but I gotta read it from here. Usman's not trying to get to America. The penny dropped for me this season. He's got a big career and a movie coming out. He's a rich celebrity in Nigeria.
You know what? I wouldn't want to come to America either. The truth is, if I could right now go to another country and be rich and famous, I would absolutely do that.
Especially, well,
Would you not? Think about it. Let's think of a country that you wanted to be in. France. Go. Let's say you want to know. Let's say if you just could go to France and just be rich and famous. Do you think you would?
yes, because I'd have to pick I was like, I'd have to pick a country that like I could live comfortably in that has like the amenities that I've like grown accustomed to a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I don't need space. I feel like, listen, do I need all the comforts of like first world? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Like I need warm water. I need like everything from a shower, and like I need like a jacuzzi. Like I need like a big bathtub. Like, but I don't need a big house, but I need like a bathtub. You know?
Yeah, and I think that if I went to I think if I went to certain parts of other countries, that even if there was like rolling blackouts, which that wouldn't be great, but like I could still have a big tub. I think I could do certain things, and I'd absolutely do it. Like fuck America, stay in Nigeria. That's where your family is. You already know life there. You could already live a fun and fantastic life. Yes, like Africa has like you could just go to Zanzibar if you ever wanted a beach moment. You know what I'm saying? Like the Maldives isn't far. You could go to India. I'm all about it.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's just so funny, like, it's funny because Michael goes up to Usman and is like, "Respect my wife, blah blue, like you would
Oh
respect
my god,
me."
we're still talking about that part too. I'm sorry.
That's okay. And like Usman's like, if she says anything shitty to me, I'm just definitely gonna like talk back to her. And it's funny because for Michael doesn't like say anything back to that because Michael can't. Like, what is Michael gonna say to Usman? Like, does Michael think he's going to fight Usman? Michael won't even fight with Angela. Like, that's my point. Like, how do I say this? What man can take him seriously, any threat seriously, if we just watch his own wife berate him on television and have for years?
Yeah, I think he just had to say it. I think he just had to say it so Angie baby could see it. And then we spec my wife. We spec her. And then he's like, I will no. What are you saying to me? I would die to have my respect. I will die on the way of defending myself. Um yeah, no.
Yeah, like this, like Michael lied, so I defended. Like this whole like she covered up for me. Like, is it just that he cheated and she covered up that? Like, why would Angela cover up just cheating? Like, what else did she cover up? Like, like I'd like to know if there are such transgressions on Michael's side that Angela never could speak and therefore took the brunt of the hate and criticisms. What were some of them, or the nature in which they were? Is it just this one cheating thing? Because obviously we all remember that he got a blowjob. We remember Michael's blowjob.
I
We
did the
won't forget
BJ.
it. It's stained in our minds and in his car.
I did the BJ.
Uh, oh yeah, I was like, how did I write that?
I don't know. I don't know. It showed you. I don't know
I
how
know,
it
I
was.
know, I know. Yay. Okay, I mean, listen, if he has a movie coming out, that's great. I don't have a movie coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we supposedly he has a movie coming out, you know. Okay, so
Do you not
let's
want
get
to see
back
it?
to
I
what?
want to see it.
The movie?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if it's gonna be on Netflix.
No, it's not. It's probably Nollywood. No, it's a Nollywood movie.
Yeah, so Nigeria has a Bollywood called Nollywood.
Oh yeah.
Have you
There's
watched a lot of
Bollywood and then there's Nollywood.
have you watched a lot of Nollywood?
Yeah, I have. There's a few on Netflix,
What
and
are like yeah.
they, in my opinion, hilariously terrible, but hilarious. It's like they're all basically like Medea films. You know, like how we have the U.S. has Medea films
Of course.
and plays. Yeah, so it's like they're all like, to me as an outsider watching it, they are all just like tropes and crazy ass storylines and bad special effects and hilarity, but it's like a whole industry. Like they pump out movies like crazy, and there's like actual Nollywood famous Nigerian actors and actresses.
Okay, so is there dance sequences?
There can be, but it's not. So Bollywood is very specifically where there is 3 hours and there's dances. But no, there's comedies. There's, it's like Nigeria has their own movie industry the same way China has their own movie industry, and like, how we, from the China movie industry, we know Chow Yun Fat, we know Jackie Chan, we know the
Fan bing bing.
ballerina girl, we know Michelle Yao, but then that's it,
Fan
right?
bing bing.
Yeah. Yeah, like we know five huge people in the Chinese movie whatever, but there's dozens of famous Chinese people, actors in China living their lives. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Hi, baby boo. Nice to see you. That phone call is the smoke. There's fire there. Is cheating more than we see. Great. That makes sense too. Yeah, according to Zayn, Usman is mildly famous in Nigeria, but not Africa. I mean, that makes sense. A whole ass continent. Okay, so some are really good. Blood Sisters on Netflix is really good. And then I watched a Naja
Niger.
Christmas. Okay, Naja
That's what
Christmas.
Nigerians refer to themselves as, Niger. Niger.
Okay. I watched Nija Christmas on Netflix this past December. Yeah, I
Well,
was like, I
those
know
are the good ones.
Hausa. I didn't know the word Nija.
Like some of the ones on Netflix are good. Like I think Niger Christmas, and there's like a South African one that's good, but
Mm.
some of them are just like hilariously bad. But I want to see Blood Sisters. All right, Javier.
Okay, so going back, then we like cut back in America at the studio. They are coming back from their break or whatever, and Kimberly, is making her way to her seat, and she wants to tell a little joke, and she looks around. Jenny's not there. Bilal's not there. Uh, but Yara's right there, honey. So she's like, let me see if this one will work. Hey, Yara. Walking back to this thing, it's almost like we can just like so trade his dance back there. And Yara looks at her and she is just like, what? You crazy woman. I'm not from America. I don't know such a reference. Which is true. It's like 70s, 80s movies reference, like why would she know it? Like, Kimberly had to look at Yara and then think twice about saying it, and then took the chance. And Yara is not going to have it because Yara is like a little snapfish.
Yeah, I was offended that Yara was so like, I don't know these Americans thing. I'm like, Soul Train is, yes, it is very much American, but
Hmm.
like it is also a great reference. Like, oh, you don't think so? I
It's
used to make people do a Soul Train line in high school.
oh
Like I would
listen,
be like, oh my god, we're doing Soul Train.
listen. No, I love it. You can give me two things. You can say I would say, well, you have to know your audience, and Yara's not the audience. And then you could say, well, Chris, is Yara the audience, or does Kimberly know her audience, and it's us? And yeah, I love a Soul Train reference. Do I think that Yara is going to get a dated reference like that? No, because even though it's fabulous, it is dated, and you know what? Or seasoned, as we would
You know
call.
what? It is dated because I was thinking about
Uh
it.
huh.
I was watching Family Guy, and they referenced the Fonz in it, and I was like, wow, I haven't thought of Harry Winkler or whatever the name fuck his name is in so long. And I remember in the '90s, everything was about the Fonz. He made some weird comeback to where like I knew what Happy Days was or whatever, and I still don't understand his allure. But
Oh, well, Henry Winkler is a fabulous man. I mean, he's very talented. He lives on Broadway and stuff like that. He has charm up and down.
oh yeah, but the only thing I know him from is the Fonz and him walking in like, "Hey" or whatever. I don't know. I didn't watch it.
Right? It was like that, right?
It wasn't, I didn't watch Happy Days. Like I
Nice.
didn't watch Wonder Years. There's a lot of stuff I didn't watch because I was watching all the black stuff.
Yeah, you had your palette full. You had
My niche. I was in
your
a
dance card
pocket.
was full.
I was
Yeah.
in a pocket. But yeah, no, she made that reference and Yara was like, and we're like, okay, whatever, girl. So they get back and they sit on the stage. Oh, this is your shit. You do it.
Yara is like just got those like breast implants done. She's very happy about her breast implants. She like wants to talk about them. They were like on story of the season. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing. Yara and Jovi, I feel like didn't have a lot of to like give this season. And anything they gave, I think, was like what they could. So like I don't think that she ever was gonna buy the apartment in Europe. I just think that she probably was like, we'll just go to Europe and we can that'll be a thing and we'd like have some sort of drama, like so I'll just drop the pursuing an apartment or whatever. I don't know. I just felt like everything was sort of fake with them. And but you know what? So those boobs. And I also feel like it's not a big thing for Yara to have gotten breast implants. Like that's not her first or second plastic surgery thing. You know, like she wasn't influenced by those two girls. She's been getting plastic surgery. And then they have the audacity to bring on one of those girls and not the one that really was like the important one. The other one. The important one is like in prison because she like told Yara that at any point Yara could just be sitting somewhere being so gorgeous and perfect that like a rich Don or whatever mafia person fucking like I mean who knows would just walk by and be like get the reference what I like that one and then just like she would just be like picked up from the whatever
I like him.
yeah um the reference is, you know, another reference, an old dated reference that Juan and I love, just tangential, is watching Cat Williams, The Pimp Chronicles Part 2 is like, oh my God, I mean, like, I think it still stands up. I've watched it and I still feel like it's fucking hilarious. Like, I just think that he like channels an energy in that and he's sweating throughout it, but like it's divine. Wow.
I mean, it is so good. First of all, let's talk about Javier. And how do you know what 365 days is? Javier.
365 DNI. That's like it
Yeah.
was one of the top Netflix movies
I
of
mean,
course it was.
part
Michael
two and
Maroney.
part two and part three were terrible. Part one, I still go back to it. Um, anyways, so yeah, it's Chronicles of a Pimp is volume 2 is one of the best um stand-ups I have seen, and it still sticks in my mind. I mean, the insurgents done took your cereal, baby. Like just, like I don't drink no motherfucking Alizé, but
Well,
bitches
bitches do.
do. I put silk pillows so that when a bitch comes to my house, she ain't gotta mess up her weave fucking with a nigga. Like, oh, it's just so.
Greasy ass bell peppery ass nose. Greasy ass bell
My daddy
peppery.
said no, Mr. Jackson.
Yeah. God, it's so fun. Like, oh my God. So
Climbing trees, talking about I like him.
yeah, which is of course what I would just say. I said that one. I like him. Uh So, yeah, like, whatever. So, so that friend we never see again. She's like basically got like the internet said that she got picked up, honey, because like the mafia don that she was like fucking with for free Chanel's or whatever, like got picked up and she was like wrapped up in it, honey. She was wrapped up in it, just like how Gabby got wrapped up and caught up. That girl really did get caught up though. So that girl is not on the tell all, but like that other one is, and I don't know any of their names. Probably like one of them is Stephanie and one of them's like Adele. I think you said one
Adele
of them
and
was
Symphony.
Symphony. Wah. She's a symphony. Symphony. Wah. Okay, so but anyway, um basically uh this is the part that is annoying to me. I like Yara. I don't want her to be like just vapid all the time. I enjoy she's gonna show you her Neutrogena. I enjoy the part of Yara that's gonna give girl power to Shy throughout this tell all. And then at one point, and maybe they all have to take a bullet, Yara then becomes like on the receiving end of this conversation with her and Miss Gwen over whether she's a good mother or whether she just leaves her baby.
And
Like
that's
whether she just leaves Mila and then just like does her life.
yeah. And that's never a fun conversation. I can't believe that anybody on that stage participated in that conversation.
Yeah, I mean, truly, we have watched many reality shows and we have seen some really questionable mother skills, usually on Live After Lockup, but not necessarily just on that, also on this. But if you want to see some questionable mother skills, go to Live After Lockup. I just don't feel like that's what's happening with Yara. Yara Yara has had to deal with the fact that she knows no one in this foreign country and got depressed and had, like literally no one to help her and a husband that like would go once a month. That's what happened. Now, the only person that could really help in that situation is Miss Gwen. But she's like, I can do what I can do, but I can't do it all. That's Miss Gwen's idea. Now, here's the thing. That would probably be an obvious feeling, and I don't know why Jovi didn't reconcile the fact that his mom would only do what his mom could do and get Yara some help. Why not just get someone to come in between the hours of, like, 11 and 4 and help you take care of a child, be there in the morning and whatever, like, maybe the child goes to bed at 11. I don't know, whatever, like, babies take 2 naps a day. So if you just need someone to be there in between babies take 2 naps a day. Babies
They
take 1
do?
in the morning. M m I think they do. Don't babies take, like, a morning nap and then, like, a later afternoon nap? Like, because they get up at, like, 7
Yeah, yeah, no. I like infants. I just
or
Mila, I'm
6.
like in my mind she takes the one. But she might not take any, we don't know. We don't know Mila's life. I do think that like it really struck me as interesting that Jovi must make $100,000 a year because he does something that is like takes him away from his home and his family. And I don't think that Jovi would make $100,000 a year doing anything else that would require him to stay at home more. Because he's already said, I make good money and I'm not going to stop doing it at this point. And I think that there must be some kind of give and take. And they live in Louisiana. $100,000 for two people goes a long way, especially if one of the people is willing to work and to have some supplementary income, including Cameo and other things one might do on the interwebs.
Mhm.
So what I'm saying is that like Jovi landed a good gig, making more money than he would ever make. I don't know if he has like any extra outside of high school education, or whatever, but he does a very physical manual kind of job. And I think the give and take of that is that they have a decent life. And how much does a nanny cost? Maybe they're not willing to maybe Yara's not willing to have someone else raise her kid because she said that before, that she just doesn't trust people and that she doesn't want somebody else raising her kid. And so maybe it just wasn't in the budget. Maybe they weren't willing to splurge for whatever it is that they needed to do to get that to happen.
I think this is, I like this idea too, like getting maybe like another Ukrainian person that like maybe it also like needs some like help or it needs like some work or whatever. Um so I don't know. I always thought obviously being Syrian Lebanese, like if I ever got a nanny of some kind, how I would love to get like a nanny who is Syrian Lebanese. Because then I can like have them teach me how to like speak such a language and also be um just like have that vibe and like you can get to use all the pet names.
Would you bring them over? Or would you try to find somebody specifically?
No, I would find someone here. Only because if I don't want to bring someone over and then feel like I mean, I would like this. I would hopefully this person has some footing here, has some family or something like that.
Oh, I see what
You
you're
know.
saying. Mhm.
So basically, but what happens is, okay, so they had moved, far away from Miss Gwen. Miss Gwen lived in, like, as they say, 2 hours away. So during this tell-all, it's revealed that they are looking to move, and Jovi's like, maybe Florida or whatever. Now, we've been knowing that Yara hates her life here. So Miss Gwen has been brought up, and she's on the video screen, and she like really wanted to like have her defense of like her not being a good grandma. But then she goes in on them and she's like, yeah, they're moving. And then guess what? We just decided to bought land to be close to them. And then it's like she wanted Jovi to then be like, okay, mom, we won't move. That was actually a crazy part. I mean, I guess in my mind, I'm like, you guys not talk? Like, yeah, like there's not like a communication that feels viable in this situation. She does not want to live in Louisiana. She's made that perfectly clear. Yet, yes, they need you to like take care of Mila. And so, God, what a shitty situation. They can sell the land though. They didn't build a house yet.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they can make money on the investment. At least they're telling you now before you build the house and move everything. And just like, guess what, guys? Joby works with his stepdad.
Yeah, I knew his dad
Yeah.
did that work too.
So basically, after that, just like back and forth with Miss Gwen, and then the friend comes and like, boobies talk and mom shaming and bobbity blue. Like that's enough. Like they really did make sure to delineate every segment and like who was going to have. Everyone even knew what day their comeuppance was going to come. Like it really was just that game of hot seat. So
Yeah, and
Joey, I
also
feel. Go ahead.
Angela wanted everyone to know that when you have new boobies, you can't bite the nipples.
Okay, so couple questions here. Does she mean like for a couple of weeks? And that makes sense. Now, here's the thing. I have done research on boob lifts and mhm, boob lifts. When you get a boob lift, that's when they do like an anchor scar and they cut around your nipple. They take off the areola nipple. They just put it like on
Over
a
here.
tray.
Mhm.
It's on a piece of cotton later. And then they'll do whatever they want to do. And then they'll take it and then they'll just like do it up again. But when you get boob implants, I'm pretty sure you slip something either above or below the muscle. But I wonder why. And then usually your only scar is underneath like the fold. So you have just like the that part, the half moon scar, as opposed to the anchor scar, which goes up and then the scar around the nipple, but you really don't see that because it kind of like fades into whatever color your areola is. Having said that, I don't understand why you wouldn't be able to bite the nipple, because in a regular implant, the nipple has gone through what I feel like usually is like no trauma. Now, you can't bite it if it's been, like, sitting on a doctor's table, like, for 20, minutes on the other side, sure, like, yeah, I think, like, get some things. I know people that have breast lifts and they love it, love it, love it, and I've wanted to get a breast lift. And that nipple part is the one part that, like, scares me 'cause I'm like, "Oh, like, what if something happens and I don't get my nipple feelings back?" It make me really upset, just like it made Angela, listen, Angela and I, 2 nips in a pod in this one. Say whatever you wanna say while you're thinking something.
Two nips on a titty is what I thought.
Okay, so, I don't want to talk about someone, and so I'm not going to. And we haven't even brought up this person yet, and the producers brought up this person the entire tell-all. So this person's name is ED, which
No, you said you didn't want to talk about him.
I'm not going to.
Okay.
I didn't even say his name. Anyway. This person who I'm not gonna talk about was just showcased so much that in order to take back my breath and power and my own sanity and to make sure all of us realize that at the end of the day, we only allow people to take away our breath and our sanity that we allow them to. So if this person doesn't exist, this person does not exist is the situation. So yeah, that person's annoying. Anyway, so then Jovi and Andrei talk. Now, I really want Jovi and Andrei to come like full circle because they started the tell all being like, maybe we'll be friends. And then we were like somewhat enemies. And then just like went through this tell all in such a way where there was no Libby because she's like pregnant. And low key, I feel like Andrei thinks that Yara's hot. You know what I'm saying? And so by the end of the tell all, there's just like this weird awkwardness with them where like maybe Jovi feels that Andrei like thinks he's like dumb and or like weak and he thinks his wife is hot. Like it's just a weird feeling. Right, Wa?
Oh, I didn't get that at all. What an interest. I'm trying to think through it. I know that Andre felt like he needed to, be like, yes, Yara, you let your Eastern European woman, you let your man go to strip club and do all things, go to Africa while you were getting your boob job. You let that happen? Jovi, you like strip clubs and stuff like that. So who are you? You're not a good
Mhm.
father. You don't stay and take care of your child. You go to Africa for safari.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Like I just thought this was dumb too. Like I just because you know why I thought the safari thing was dumb? It's because at the end of the day, after they made it thing like he was gone they made it seem like he wasn't even there for the surgery and that she woke up and she was like, "Oh,
Jovi.
and then he was like, "No, he's not here, but the tits look fine," and she was like, "Oh," and then every night she was like, "Milo, Jovi left me and my boobies," like, but he was there for 10 days. He was there for 10 days.
And then I think it was dumb that he was like, "Well, I blame her because she got the surgery when she knew I was going to Africa." And then she's like, "I first of all, can we just normalize actually saying the country in Africa that you go to because it's weird saying I went to Africa. It's like saying I went to North America. You just say you went to Canada. Let's just say you went to Mexico. Why are you going to say you went to North America? Like, I went to South America. Just say you went to Venezuela."
Well, I would say the only reason why, which I don't know if like his, I don't the only reason why I would say that is if I went to multiple places in one continent. Like I would say, oh, I went to Europe. If I went to I went to
Yes,
Europe, I flew into fucking France and the train to
you're right.
Italy. Though,
But
so I don't know if
most
he, but
Americans say Africa because they think that Africa is one country. They don't know that it's a continent, and so it's weird or it's silly to say Africa. At this point in our society as Americans, we shouldn't say you went to Africa. You should say she went to Nigeria. You should say I went to South Africa.
yeah, no, yeah, I get what you're
That's all
saying.
I'm saying.
Yeah, I
Especially
don't.
because you've been there. So just say I went to South Africa. Why do you have
Yep.
to make it just I don't know, it others it in a weird way. It's like yeah, I went to the Middle East. Well, yeah, because I went to Lebanon and then I went to fucking Saudi Arabia and then I went to Yemen. Don't go to Yemen. I went, I went to all these places. Yes, I went to the Middle East, but like if you went to Tunisia, say you went to Tunisia. Okay, anyways. So he there it, I don't know how I feel about it because everyone's like, "Oh, he should not have gone." And I'm like, "Babe, if I already paid for a safari trip, if I already paid $5,000 for a safari and then your boob augmentation happened, surgery happened on this day, unfortunately, I'm going to have to go to see the rhinos. I'm gonna get you somebody to sit there and help you, and it sucks and it's terrible, but they don't got money like that. This is my assumption because I wouldn't.
But,
I have money to waste.
yeah, they're getting a free surgery. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Yara makes it seem like she has like disposable income. Like from her like business, just kind of selling Alibaba things repackaged with like rhinestones on them or whatever. Um, but whatever. So then this was like interesting. I feel like somewhat out of the blue they end the tell all. Like I wasn't ready for it. Like I don't wasn't paying attention enough to then suddenly Sean was like, Well, that's it. We finally come to the end. Thank you guys so much and have an amazing night. From the studios, by Sean Robinson.
Weren't you excited though a little bit that you thought, oh my god, the episode's over, and then you looked at your thing and like, oh shit, we still have fucking another 45 minutes.
I knew by the way that they ended that on screen or in studio tell all that it was not nearly done because it was so awkward and like what just pushed in. So um they all changed because they're wearing their like day 2 outfit. Like yeah, Angela came with luggage, honey, that she just of just fashions, fashionates, and just like she puts on like a red, just like cat suit onesie, like there's like lace trim, there's like parts. All of her clothes
Sequin,
look the exact same and just slightly different at the exact same time, like it's so weird.
sequin and like satin. Listen, if
What?
Angela wasn't such a horrible
Hmm.
saliva toothy individual, I want to call her toothless, but she has so many welded bottom teeth in her mouth that are turning yellow. It's like you spent all this money on these bottom teeth, and these right here are turning brown and yellow.
Yeah, the way she talks, like like her teeth are like about to fall out of her mouth at any time. It's just it feels
Disgusting. But she's
threatening.
living her best life, and like there is a part of me with bad ponytails notwithstanding, and shoes that she's like stomping around in. There's a part of me that sees this woman living her best fucking life in a body that she is not going to maintain. This woman spit out water talking about she don't like it.
Mm.
So the surgery is not, she's going to stretch her stomach out again. But what I'm saying is that this woman is living her smallest life to the fullest. She's living her life like she was when she was in her early 20s. And I love her for it. I have to say that is like kind of refreshing. That's the only nice thing I'll say about her.
She did lose a lot of weight, like she did. I hope the best for her. I hope that she continues. You have to move. I'm hoping that she has some movement and you have to, I guess, realize why you gain weight and like try and like deal with the underlying issues, and I hope that's happening for her. But they're all going to go back to the rooftop bar where they have enlisted and made him sign a waiver, like a lovely gentleman who was going to do the work of any other like associate that or like waitress, of course, like any sort of like furniture salesman, a barber, a hairdresser, any person on the show who's going to stand there and let one of the characters interact with them and then do their best to like interact back. Now, because all of these people have already gone through like 4 days of this bullshit, I feel like they don't have to like be like prodded to like talk more, which of course those people always try and make them. It's always like, who's your fiance and why do you need this dress in one day? It's always like, oh, they're from Syria? Is that a good idea? It's always that. But Angela goes up to this man and she's just like in her red outfit. I was like, was he the same guy that like didn't have the mimosas from the first night? Like did they,
Yeah.
and also did they bring mimosas? I feel like if I saw Angela the second night, I'd be like, look what I have, Florida's natural orange juice and fucking I don't know, I
Brute.
forgot Corbel. What's the good? Yeah, Brute. Corbel. But that's not what happens. And then oh, never mind. Nothing happens there. Then someone who I hate does something horrible. So we don't have to talk about that. Now, here's at one point. So Bilal then walks into this, and this is a very moment, and I didn't talk about this in the docuseries, and it made me like upset. Bilal walks in like with his like black shirt and like it's like kind of tight, and he looks good, and like Shy's behind him, and for a moment he walks in, and I say to myself, God, they look good. And because of who else was in the room and who I didn't talk about, conversely, how elegant this man looks. I literally was like, Bilal looks really elegant and sophisticated right here. And then he says, feels like he just went to the toilet and just like let everything out just there. Like says something incredibly crass and vulgar about bathroom humor that made me remember who I was talking about and that how wrong I was. Well,
Okay, I just want you not to forget to talk about Jenny, and who was the third person in the corner? Was it Yara? Well, anyway, Jenny, Kimberly, and somebody in a car driving to the rooftop bar. And then don't forget to talk about the juices.
yeah, that's my favorite part. Yeah, that one hasn't come up yet. That's the uh, Liz, Kimberly, Jenny, Angela conversation. That's
Wait,
fucking
who's in the
great.
car with Kim and Jenny? Is it Yara?
Yeah, it's Yara.
Okay. Well, I say don't forget that because it is 11 p.m. and I have to go to bed.
Will you talk about that scene? 'Cause I forgot that scene.
Yeah, so basically they're in the car and I said this in Docu Sweeties. First of all, drop an emoji if you listen to Docu Sweeties. Drop a heart emoji
Ear.
right now. We
Oh,
need to
okay.
know who it is. What were you gonna say?
An ear.
Okay, drop an ear. Drop an ear emoji if you listen to Docu Sweeties, please. I want calling everybody out, calling you out. Not Patreon. We're asking if you listen to Docu Sweeties. You have it on any of your Apple, Spotify,
Okay.
Stitcher, all the other things that it's on.
Look at them
Okay,
ears.
so
Look at them hearts and ears because they got confused because we're just like we're like all over the place.
yeah, it's fine. Great. Um, so this is the best Kim has ever looked. I granted it's black and white and it's dark and it's a high angle.
Highest angle
Um,
possible, honey. I mean, that's an
but
alpine angle. Alpine.
Kim talks about how she wanted Usman to possibly ask to get back engaged again. She talks
Oh.
about how sad she was that Jenny wasn't on her side, and Jenny was like, "I'm on your side. I just didn't say that I thought he loved you because I think he loves you as a friend." And so it's like, thank you guys. I love all these ears. Oh, thank you so much, dog trainer. Hi. And so it's just like we have to listen to Kim pretend like we don't know that she still loves Usman.
Yeah.
This man, she's like, we're not together. Do I still call him every day? Yes. Is he my best friend? Yes. Do I still smell his shirt? Yes. Do I still listen to his music? Absolutely. Like, this man has replaced Michael Jackson in her eyes. Could you imagine how she would be if she was like Michael Jackson? Oh my God, Gnome the Cottage. What's a power bike? We're not there yet. Also, if you listen, Gnome does not listen to the podcast because she knows that we have really tried to figure out what a power bike was.
Yeah, I will get into it, but yeah, the power bike one, I spent at least 30 minutes going over the different positions and angles that we think could be that, and that we did a deep dive, and the video that exists on Patreon. So God bless.
Oh my God, you know that our Docu Sweeties colors are the same colors as your background and everything right now?
God, I love yellow and gold. I guess or pink and gold.
Yeah, pink and gold.
Oh yeah, I can't get to those. I was gonna try and see if I can switch to the thing to see it, but I can't because I'm not in your. Yeah.
But anywho, so we just get a little bit more information about Kim and how she's feeling after the tell-all, and that she's glad that it's over, and just a little, and a little bit more of Jenny. Truly, Jenny doesn't want to be there. Truly, Jenny would rather be at home on the phone with Sumit because I don't know what the time difference is, but I'm pretty sure she would much rather be with Sumit. Like, I just feel like Jenny doesn't strike me as a girl's girl. Jenny strikes me as the type of woman who either when she's single, then she's a girl, but when she's boot up, she boot up. And if Sumit can't go with her, she not going.
I mean, yeah. I wonder, like, I want to know, like, what Jenny's like, baby, like, what the father of Christina is like. Like, what that relationship was like. Was he like older than her, younger than her? Like, did they have a codependent relationship? Like, like.
I mean, he was a man of color. She does love POCs. He's Mexican, or at least Latino.
Yeah. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Um so basically they get, yeah, so that's, so yeah, it was a very sad, I think, and moment for everyone here, including the audience, when Kimberly was like, if he had just got back on his knee, I was sort of just hoping and waiting for him to like propose to me and put his wedding ring back on. And I was like, literally, you have for the past 2 days died on the hill that it was your choice not to be with him, that you broke up. You died on that hill
Mm-hmm.
just to resurrect yourself, to be like, just kidding. I want him so back. I want him back. I'm coming back.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, for real. Also, Jenny really wanted the joke about uh, Big Ed being actually little to land, that she said it no less than 3 times. But I really have to go. So I'm
Okay, I
gonna
love
leave
you
you
so
to
much.
digest this. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna, like, take some melatonins and like try to go to sleep so I can wake up at 5,
Uh,
6. Try to wake up at 6.
how about 5:30?
I'm gonna try. I'll set my alarm. I have to, I'm
Yeah,
getting a new
do
couch
6.
tomorrow.
No, actually, you know what? If you usually wake up at 7:15, you should start by waking up at like 6:30 and then 6, you know?
Yeah. I'm getting a new couch tomorrow.
Good.
So you guys, this will be the last that you see. It might not be, because I don't know. So I need somebody to take this couch off my hands. So I'm gonna have 2 couches in my living room for a minute.
Honey, 2 couches,
It's not what I want, but I
1
think it's what I
apartment.
need to do.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I love you so much, and your skin looks great.
Thank
So
you.
go CVS or
I
whatever.
was I was about to push in broadcast, and I had to remember not to do that. So I'm gonna leave studio.
Just honestly, just close. Don't do anything. Just close it and just walk away. Just kidding. I don't
Bye,
think
guys.
you will. Okay,
Have a
bye.
good night. Are you sure you want to leave the podcast? Yes.
So basically, that Bilal thing really made me upset. Like, just because it really goes to show you, and I do this too, and I'm trying to get better at. There's like the old school things of like what not to talk about kind of sometimes make sense, right? Like no one wants to talk about bodily fluids, like when he's like says like if he's always went to the toilet, like I don't, it like took him down a notch because he wants so badly to be like viewed in such a way. So yeah, so I don't really want to talk about who I'm not talking about, but the girl that is with him, she starts to get people on her side, right? And that's Liz, right? Or I don't care. Liz is neither here nor there. So Liz has become kind of like the victimy little sister of all the women. Angela, now Yara doesn't give a fuck about Liz, right? It's like Yara and Shy together, and then Yara like trying to be against Angela if possible. But Kimberly, Jenny, Angela and Liz kind of like form a click, and it starts with Kimberly kind of like telling her to go throw wine on whatever he who should not be named. And and I said this in the docuseries. I was like, you cannot say that to us. You cannot have that scene happen without having it happen, which I thought was rude. This the end of the tell-all. You're going to promise us something that this villain that we should not have had to deal with might have the possibility of having wine thrown on them in front of everyone, and you're not going to give it to us? That was just poor planning. So, but they did give us this next scene. So basically, when that doesn't happen, all those 4 women of the clique, again, Shy and Yara, who even if they are booed up, I would have loved all the women to be in this conversation. Like, I would love, and I think I said this in Vanity Fair, I would love it if 3 parts of the tell-all were just about the sex lives. I think I also said this, yeah, like, it's crazy, yeah, like, the tell-all in the studio was so insignificant and so bare bones that they didn't even go over, like, so many things. Like, The fact that Sean Robinson never asked Jenny not one question about her sex life with Sumit after they had, Dad, you want to come and say hi? My YouTube. Come say hi to my YouTube. We'll go put a thingy on. Well, they want to talk to you about Darcy and Stacy. It's back on tonight, Dad. Season 3, Dad. He said, bye, honey. Went to bed. I'm so upset. I also kind of feel like okay, so don't worry. I'm tangential. You know this. I also kind of want my dad to watch MILF Manor. But then here's the thing about MILF Manor. Oh, never mind. I can't say it because I don't want to give up something. I want my dad to watch MILF Manor. Is one thing. And there's a spoiler, and I think like even though the spoiler is good, it's like if I was in the position of the spoiler, it would actually be like really weird, and so I don't know if I would like it. Anyway, ha ha ha. All the women sit down and talk about sex, which of course should have happened in the studio, and including Jenny, which because she went to a Kama Sutra thing, like I don't understand how that wasn't like a deep dive for. That's what I want to talk about with this woman. Also, like what her probably like how she makes lentils. I want to know like what she like. Does she use vegetable broth? Like how does she make Indian food? Does it taste good? I know that he cooks, and I don't think she cooks, but we did have to watch her buy lentils in the middle of like New York City to go back to the Time New York hotel and cook them in the what? In the who? My guess was coffee maker, a hot water, right? How are you gonna cook anything? And I mean, they don't have great rooms there. Anyway, um, love MILF Manor, love. Yeah, I'm in the middle of episode 1. I gotta go back. So we get to finally talk about sex. And basically, we get to talk about Angela and giving advice, talking about, like you know, what is a youthful, in this version, what Liz might be experiencing, as if Liz is incredibly moisturized all the time. And as if Liz is getting moisturized from the feeling of thought of having any relations with whoever we think that she's having relations with. You know what I'm saying? Like Angela might be drier than Liz, but I don't think that Liz is wetter than Angela because Angela has doesn't have to have sex with erectile dysfunction. I'm using it. You know what I'm saying? Like that person isn't. I don't care how young Liz is. She's not wet. What? Not at all. Not that man. Ugh. So now here's the thing. As they make the universe of 90 Day Fiancé bigger, they're going to realize that they have a lot of crazy cast members, and what they want to do and what they want to share is across the board. A lot of cast members have been on OnlyFans. A lot of their family members have been OnlyFans. So if you were on Discovery Plus to make like a naughty and or late night and or adult show where like you have cast members talking about sex, I think you'd find ones that would readily do it, What if you just own, I mean, like, it almost feels like Matt Sharp has the capacity to like make a studio system, and then his studio stars are his 90 Day people, and he can just like find different projects for them based upon their abilities. Anyway, so Kimberly is like, yeah, the yummy. We've been knowing about Kimberly as yummy, and whatever, and her absolute deep desire for Usman. And that does feel very MILF Manor. And she describes what her favorite move and or trick, and it feels like some sort of move or position. And she says that there is something called the power bike that Usman does to her. And okay, So I think Shay asked, like, well, what's happening there? Now, a power bike is in like a motorcycle, and usually there's a motorcycle. There's like handles. There's like your hands are on something, and sometimes you like go back and forth like that, right? And you can also like, and can you tell I've never ridden a motorcycle? You can also do the thing where you like, "Ugh," and you like go up on the motorcycle and you're like, I don't know what he does, but some part of her are the handles. Some part of her. And there are two handles. So two parts of her are the handles. Now we all know what parts of the human body there's two of: two eyes, two eyebrows, two boobies, two hands, two arms, two legs, two cheeks. Well, four cheeks. Four cheeks, four lips. Two of those cheeks and two of those lips he holds on to, honey. And he just like, and she's just like in heaven. And that's why she flies the 27 hours, honey, just to like ride the bike. Now, in her mind, she thinks it's a power bike, and I think it's a Vespa. No, I think it's a Vespa. But she'll take a Vespa, you know. Jenny is just mostly like, Sumit's a very romantic lover, and he's very giving. He does everything for me, like literally everything, and also massages me. I've never had a lover or like whatever. I've never had sex with someone. I never had like a boyfriend or whatever. Like that was like a massager. And I wish I would. But he has to be good. Like you have to like, get into it. You have to have good, strong hands, and you have to be like somewhat intuitive and like also not afraid to really get your elbows inside. Okay. Angela's so disgusting. When you're wet, you're wet. I love you, Joslo. Uh-huh. Um, I think they're putting I think I'm sorry. I think they are putting her on a spinoff, and that's why they had to flip the script to make us not like Michael. So where is his feet? He's either squatting or he's on his knees, right? Unless he has like a nice little, like let's say he has like a little stool. Does anyone know what the African ingredient move is? Yeah, like the African ingredient move isn't the power bike. Like those are, like the African ingredient is something else. Like yeah, like I can't tell you. And from any professional point of view, like I have never had any sort of like romantic liaison with a Nigerian man. So, or a Hausa man. I don't know if Hausa people are always from Nigeria, but like, or if I think they're from also a different country. So, yeah, I don't know what it could be. I think of it being an understood regalness, like a strength that is also unfallible, consistent. I don't know. I don't know, honey. I don't know, but Kimberly loves it. And it's so funny because, you know, Angela and Kimberly was supposed to like hate each other, but they have like so much in common. They like, and they both like to be a little jokey and have a little fun. And the only thing they have going against each other is the fact that they can see each other in each other. And it's like they want to look at each other and be like, he's scamming you, he's scamming you, he's scamming you, he's scamming you. I think you're being scammed. I think he's lying to you. Okay, but also I think he's lying to you and you're being scammed. Also cool. I totally get it because I'm also being lied to and scammed. So I get it when I see it and I see it when I get it. It's a weird back and forth. The yam itself is the actual ingredient. It's the yam. It's a Nigerian yam. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They grow only in Nigeria. A certain width and length, a certain viscosity. No. A certain texture. No. Yeah, a certain texture that is superior to other yams. Professional opinion. I was with one man from Nigeria, not much foreplay, but they will go at it for an hour. That's exactly what I would think that. I would think it'd be very strong and consistent. And I think that like foreplay is this thing that is like I don't, I think that it might be yeah, I can see how that could be it. It'd be interesting to try and talk someone who's either like not used to foreplay or not into it or never like thought it was a big deal or from a culture that like it just wasn't a thing to try and be like, no, you know what? Don't worry about it for like 40 minutes. Let's just make out. And like I'll play with this and you play with that. We're just like making out and chilling. We're not just like you're just like making out, chilling. I'll play with this, you play with that. We kiss this, you kiss that. Then we go back to making out more, and then I'll kiss this, and then I'll touch that. And then we make out more, and then like sometimes passes, and then we have sex. I wonder if you have to like really spell it out for someone, and they're just like, we go back to kissing. I don't know. I think we're overthinking the power bike. It's clearly you on the bottom, the bike, and K on top, the writer. Okay, that's what. Okay. That's very funny. You think she's the writer. You think that so what's the power move? Like, and yeah. Okay, so is she leaning side to side? What's the power part? It feels like there's a vrum vrum. And if there's a vrum vrum and she's on top, then she has like some strong thighs and she's doing something, right? Like she has a good angle. She has like she'd have to be using her thighs. You can't vrum vrum with arms. I don't think you're gonna be able to like anyway. Listen, I want to know what you guys think. I'm just gonna look it up, okay? I'm not gonna look up specifically their names, but I'm just gonna look up power bike sex move. Shit. Now, is this a bad idea for me to Google this? Probably. But am I doing it live on camera for people? Yes. Is this some sort of like cam girl style thing that people should be paying me for? Probably, but this is whatever, it's fine. Power bike sex move. Motorcycle sex position. A sex position based on the way you would ride a motorcycle. The man sits on his knees. Wait. Shit. The man sits on his knees and uses his hands. This is from Urban Dictionary, so who knows if this is real. On a invisible, so not an invisible, this person's already crazy. On a invisible steering wheel, accelerating and humping the woman who is bending over like she would in a doggy position. No, he does not use this is unreal. Okay. Okay, this is hilarious. Okay, I need to tell you this immediately. Just Googled power bike sex move, and the first two Google answers. The first one is from Urban Dictionary. The second one is something from Christian friendly sex positions, which I now have to click on. Oh my God. What is the bicycle sex position? Bicycle is a standing. Oh my God, there's a whole picture. And it was, by the way, exactly what almost what the urban person said, except for the invisible steering wheel, which, by the way, is what I Didn't think this was this, and nor did Christian. This is actually not what I thought. I thought she was laying on her back. Okay. So bicycle is a stand. It's from behind. This is like doggy. Bicycle is a standing sex from behind position that creates a tight fit with lots of friction during lovemaking. This is from the Christian-friendly sexpositions.com. Scroll down for details about getting into this pose and tips that enhance G-spot and breast stimulation and generate deep satisfying penetration. How to have sex in the bicycle position. Number 1, the wife stands, bends forward at the hip, and then supports herself with her hands on the floor or something low, such as an ottoman. The husband, then, number 2, stands behind her and then straddles her legs so that he's standing with his feet on the outside of her legs. Okay, I'm not gonna. I mean, this is it's stand up doggy. Also, this Christian, like the wife, first of all, says, "Thank you so much for marrying me in the Christian faith, and let's make babies. It would the only reason why we would have sex in a pleasurable way." The wife says, "I am of your rib," and then she lays down. I mean, that's so funny. That's hilarious. So, the first two options. Christian-friendly sexpositions.com is a website. Not paying me, should be. You can is paying the Google algorithm to be like high in their Google results, which is also kind of funny. Uh Yeah, Angela asked the bartender if she is married or has a brother and she needs to have wild sex. And that Kim might fly to Nigeria for sex. Sex is, people are lonely. It's interesting because, like, obviously people want to be intimate and people need to be touched, right? And like all of these like have different facets. Like people need to be loved, people need to be hugged, people need to be touched. People want connection, people don't want to be lonely, people want to have sex, people want, like intimacy in so many ways. It's interesting because of how many times I've talked about MILF Manor tonight, and then because of Angela and Kimberly, and Jenny, this like concept of female sexuality and I'm happy how horny women are just for the rest of their life. I think that because yeah, I guess, like, as a female, you like, and you can tell me, it's like, I don't quite know, like, menopause happens, and I don't quite know what happens other than the fact that I won't have my period anymore, and then I won't be able to have kids, right? At some point, also, there's hot flashes, right? And other strange things that could happen. Hormonal changes, right? Like, those are the things that happen during menopause. Guess what I don't understand is, like, well, whatever the hormonal changes that happen during menopause, obviously, it's not something that takes away women's sex drive at all, right? Like, so many women are so horny at seasoned ages. That part makes me happy. I hope that I get to, like, just really have a healthy, happy, fulfilling sex life for many years. Yeah, the part of, like, what you get from, like, actual, like, sex or whatever, as opposed to, like, what you get from a massage or what you get from a hug is so interesting. Or does what you get from, like, having a sleepover with a friend or, like, or whatever, just a fun, intimate, like, chatty night. The part of the brain that, like, each of those little, like, moments touch, like, all have to be somewhat similar. It all whatever, like, the serotonin thing is, it's all somewhat, like, on a similar path. Okay, wait. What positions aren't Christian friendly? Oh, I think we know. I'll tell you. Unfortunately, positions between a non-husband and a non-wife. Those are the unfriendly the Christian mean sexual positions. Honey, if you're not a husband, you're not a wife. It's mean. It's rude. Rude sex, Christian rude sex positions. I'm wondering the same 46 here. Good. No one, yeah. Oh my God. No one tells us more than anything vague about menopause. Hot flashes and no period. That's true, right? Like, obviously, yeah, once you don't have your period, obviously, you can't have kids. I mean, you could easily, but in this day and age, you could have your period and still not be able to have kids because of whatever. God bless. So it's like it's not having kids, it's period gone, it's hot flashes. There might be other things like I think I've heard like maybe some of your hair might fall out. I don't know, but like that's also maybe sometimes happens when you're pregnant or whatever too. Like those are some of the vague things that people like don't tell you. Like maybe your skin's supposed to get like less electricity, no, elasticity. That's the word. You can see how that was hard to say. Um, yeah, but like somehow it definitely doesn't stop women's sex drive at all, which is great. The Christian ones that don't like when the woman gets off. Now, I will say that in this sexual bike position, they were like, and there's ample room for breast play and G spot stimulation. Very Christian to get deep into the G. God. That God spot. Listen, I'm gonna be taken off YouTube. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. It's just funny. It is funny. I love God. I really have I feel like I'm a spiritual good. I have a great relationship with the universe and God, and I enjoy attending Catholic masses because it's the ritual in which I was raised. But I definitely can't subscribe to the Catholic Church and all of their dogma. So, having said all of that, I'm a comedian. I like to make jokes, but that is funny. And here's the thing, if I think that women have the divinity part of us more than men do. I've always thought that because we make life, we like push life out of us. And so truly, if you think about that, the birth canal and all that stuff, like women, and it's another thing because they don't tell us about menopause nor like birth, really, like what happens. At one point, there's supposed to be like moments of like birth where you can like get into like I don't know. It's very supposed to be very, very painful, truly. But there's also a G spot in women, and maybe that is the God spot because we have to like make babies from that part of us. So it's like think about that. I had my third child at 40. Never had a period after he was born. Absolutely no menopause symptoms. Bless that baby. Like what? Like, JW didn't tell us that, like, why would we know that? Like, is that what happens? How come no one, like maybe I should, like yeah, there has to be, like there has to be more, like, female talk. And maybe, I don't know, because, like, I don't have, like, a strong female, like, role model that, like, tells me this kinda stuff, but that's crazy. But everyone's different, so here's this Michelle's story. I'm 46, and for me, the menopause sucks in some ways, but heightened sex drive is so it's heightened? Is a plus, and by my age, hopefully what you like. Wow. It is very different from every woman, that's true. Yeah, I thought I was going through to 38, but then I got pregnant, surprise, I'm a mom of a little boy at this age. Wow. My God, God bless. God bless. I don't have to tell you, the tell-all ends the dumbest way where, like, Jovi and Yara are just, like, yelling outside about getting a cab or something like that. I mean, I don't even have to tell you, isn't that dumb? Jovi, you don't drive. Oh, you're gonna like, it's just like it was a weird way to end the tell-all. I don't know. I like hopefully Bilal and Shy have a healthy, lovely baby if that's what Shy wants. And I hope that Shy, like continues her yoga career. And like what I last saw on her Instagram is that she was like in some like bananas position and she had like a very blousy top on. Blousy. Billowy, maybe is the word. A billowy top. And people, honey, were just like, I smell baby. I smell a Bilal baby in there, honey. A baby. That's the second baby pun I made today. Or did I make the same one? But Balabi is great. I just like the fact that Shy would never talk about sex. I don't know. I swear to God, it's so funny. As I've gotten older, I've gotten more conservative in the sense of like what I want, like I guess, and like what I want to share and what I don't want to share. Like I think that what did we just have? I was looking at like celebrity dress pictures and like Lori Harvey had like some birthday party and Kendall Jenner went there and like just a sheer ass dress with her like boobies out and she has a bananas great body. And I think I'm just like I am I am over like seeing body parts. It just feels well like you want a reaction so bad. And I feel like it's yeah, like it feels a little weak, right? I don't know. I don't like when people talk about obviously the vulgar thing like Bilal said or something like that, but like it, that's another thing why I will always have Shy's back is specifically because I do find her so lovely and elegant. Like and when I say lovely and elegant, I don't even care it's the way that she carries herself. Like, I know that she's gonna have like wet water everywhere or like walk around or like it's not that you have to like be so prim and proper. It's just that I don't know, it's a way that you like carry yourself that feels like you respect yourself. And probably another reason why I didn't like Liz's outfits. Liz this entire time just wore like the tiniest little like Cher Horowitz, like, it's a dress, Calvin Klein made it, like kind of outfits where she was just pouting the entire time. She looked like a little weak child. And it's not just because she's wearing something where I'm just like seeing every limb because you're sitting on a couch the entire time. And so like your bandeau outfit like disappears as you sit and so it's just like legs and arms or whatever. It's interesting the way in which you dress and the relationship between what it feels like, what people see and how they perceive you, and how you feel and how you perceive yourself, and what you give off and what is being shown. It's just very interesting. And I will say that I am in and have been like in my own process of trying to be better at that. So I am no professional. I'm sitting right now in a onesie. You know what I'm saying? Like I am in a pink onesie with feetsies. It's too big for it's a footsie onesie, like shuffly, like as if I'm a baby. The only thing it doesn't have is, and you've seen this before, but it doesn't have one of those like bottom butt escape roots. They always had like you see like little like babies in the 50s always had those like cute onesies where you just be like, hey, go to the bathroom, like unbutton, go, and then button, cute, cute, cute. Other than that, my loves, I'm going to probably end this soon, go to bed soon, do my breath with you. I've so enjoyed this. Oh my God, wait, Jade. I worked at the Body Tree bookstore in LA when I was pregnant. I read every single birth book, had 2 home births, third one in the hospital, all groovy. I learned a lot from pregnant peers. Okay, first of all, I lived off Huntley, the Body Tree bookstore, and I'm feeling there's only one, which was the one on Melrose, like right off San Vicente. I love the Body Tree bookstore. It was on the north side of the street, and there was like there's an Earth Cafe still there, and there was Oh, a Lapon that I used to always go to. I really love it. And I mean, yeah, the Boutique bookstore had like obviously the best books, but also like you could go and get like crystals or incense and like oils and stuff. I went there a lot. I missed it. Um, I'm actually surprised it left. I don't. There must have been something that happened. They the building or something. Now there's the House of Intuition on Melrose, but I don't believe they definitely don't have the like the books that you guys had. That was great. I said you guys, you. Um, Shai explained that just because she's covered up doesn't make her want to feel pretty underneath. She's covered up doesn't make her want to feel pretty underneath. Doesn't make her want to feel underneath. I mean, Shai does excellent makeup, so she obviously is like doing something. Chris, we were talking about your love life or not a go? Oh, yeah, that's true. You know what? I'm like taking a little break. I'm not. I mean, I'm taking a little break from like dating. I have some goals coming up that I want to accomplish, and they require, if I can get them, if I can get everything in line, copious amounts of time and energy and strength and mental clarity and emotional stability. And I just want to be, I don't know. And those goals involve things that I love to do, like perform. And I really haven't ever found anyone that I trust would make me feel as good as performing. So in this moment in my life, my goals are surrounding the thing that makes me happy, and hopefully whatever will be will be. I liked her umbrella dress. It looked like almost like Zimmerman. It looked like a Zimmerman dress with like a long sleeve underneath. Okay, babes, let's take a breath and have our lives. I'm always honest with you. So, oh yeah, I do have those goals. That's true, but my heart is with my uncle Joe, who passed away on Friday. My uncle Joe Farah, who's named after his father, my grandfather, my grandpa Joe, and so now my uncle Joe and my grandpa Joe and my grandmother Mary, who I loved very much, will hopefully be spending time together in heaven. And my uncle Joe leaves behind his wife, my aunt Tony, and his two sons, Joey and Michael. And then there are many children and one almost born brand new great grandchild. Having said all of that, so for me, I'm gonna breathe with you right now, and it's like give my heart, my life to all the kids and to my cousins Joey and Michael and that family. You know, every family is different, and the way that my dad's family is there's four brothers. There's four brothers, and this is the first brother to pass, the oldest brother, and so it's just I think it pierces a lot. I think, and like reminds us of the fragility of life and how amazing life has been. Like, and our family is so blessed, and we've gotten to like spend so much time together, and I really love being a member of my family. The Farahs are great. My cousin Monique is a Farah. She's great too, and we're all really close. So that's what is happening, and it's sad. Having said that, that's what I'm gonna breathe into. I'm gonna breathe into like just enjoying life because it's incredibly important, and giving our like heart and our light and our warmth to people that are going through things. And just remembering the order of things. that things that might seem super big are not, and this show definitely being one of them. Small peanuts in the grand scheme of things, but what means more is the love and connection that we find. So, with all of these couples, I hope that they do find like that intimate love and connection, and I hope that for you and I hope that for me. And as we've said, like intimacy and love has many different forms. And if you aren't finding it in one, you really can feel safe knowing that you can doesn't always have to be like romantic love, which is everything's connected that we're talking about, right? I find the intimacy of like us talking now and like you hearing me and you talking back, like that being a connection that's really lovely and powerful. And I know you probably never see me on stage, live, but getting to perform on stage is like a whole other thing that I really, really love. And that connection's really, really great. And I would say that those two things definitely feed inside me the hole that exists from like my own profound loneliness or whatever. So, um, everyone's trying to fill whatever they need. And in this case, we are going to fill the hole, which is our lungs, with a collective breath that is sort of a acknowledgement that we are in fact all one and different and one and different and one. I feel like that's maybe it's the breath as we inhale our togetherness, we do exhale our independence. It's life is such a crazy balance. Anyway, here we go. 2 breaths, just one to like warm it up and one to get it done. Getting everything out. Inhaling. Exhaling. That was warm up and here it goes. And that was rehearsal, but it's opening night. You're Beyonce, 25 million Dubai. All right, my loves. That's all I have for you. It's 10 o'clock on the West Coast. Tell me if you watched Darcy and Stacy. Tell me if you watched MILF Manor. Tell me if you're excited about Toe. If you saw who the new couples are, what you feel about that. It feels like we should do a Meet the Cast. I love you guys so much. If you want more information about this show, you can listen to the podcast that Juan and I did on Docu Sweeties. We also have the Love After Lockup from Friday. That's up there as well. DocuSweeties.com. If you want to see the visuals, you can join our Patreon. That's patreon.com/DocuSweeties. You're also welcome to join me on my various social medias. I'm at Chris L. Farah on Instagram and Twitter. If you haven't yet, please like this video. Give it a 5-star. Or sorry, I'm all over the place. Like this video if you don't mind. Give it a thumbs up and or comment afterward. If you listen to the podcast, please give it 5 stars. That's that. And finally, I have a private Facebook group, Vanity Pharaoh. I always go and tell you guys when I'm going to go live. I gave you guys 5 minutes heads up, which is not the best. I'm so sorry. I know I'm low energy. I know I'm kind of like whatever. I know. I love you guys. But I will pick it up later. I promise you. I hope you have the greatest week. Okay. Bye. Oh, take care of yourselves and one another. Stand up for what you believe and make art. Bye.